Right. Last topic. Is the Super Rugby competition good enough for New Zealand and Australia to prepare them for test match footy?
You could say that about any competition.
Or what are you saying?
I'm saying it is.
Why?
Because there's rivalries throughout it. You know, you think about Wellington and Auckland, big rivalry. Christchurch and Auckland, big rivalry. Highlanders and Christchurch, big rivalry. And then, you know, I can't necessarily comment on the Australian teams, but there'll be rivalries throughout.
Oh, you know, New South Wales and Queensland.
Correct.
Massive
big
rivalry.
One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the underdog of the fourth versus everyone.
Yeah.
Canberra being, you know, this Johnny come lately.
Yeah.
That's how they're perceived, you know, in reality. Because it was traditionally always Queensland and New South Wales.
Yeah.
And then Brumbies came along, and I mean, seriously, my cat is getting all excited. He's coming here, he's sitting over there, he's got all excited because there's a bird outside. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is this is an experiment.
Okay.
I'm going to open up the window. Right.
Oh,
Here's the option.
You got to do it quietly, though.
Here's the option to go out.
You got to do it quietly.
All right. I'm going to do it.
Got to do it quietly. It's a magpie. They're cunning. You're doing a good job.
Right. So he has an option now. This is like David Attenborough.
Yeah, this is, isn't it?
He has an option to go outside.
So it's a magpie.
And attack the bird.
Oh, he's not
But
interested.
he's so
now.
pathetic that he will just sit there and act like he's going to go and get him. Look at him.
Yeah,
just go and get him,
yeah,
Stripes.
What a coward.
Right, so you think it's good enough?
Why? I think it's good enough because it's intense rugby. It's flamboyant rugby. It is rivalry rugby.
All right, so this is what other people are saying. They're saying it's not the same intensity as Test match rugby. Okay, without the South Africans, without their style of play, it then equates to popcorn rugby.
Okay. I can understand that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not readying you for Test match rugby. You know, just because we don't play the South Africans doesn't mean that we're not necessarily prepared or Test match ready. No one's Test match ready until they've played a couple of Test matches.
Would you say like the French top 14 is more like Test footy? Would you say that the URC is more like...
The URC is probably more like Test match rugby than the top 14.
Why?
Because it's got the South African teams in it.
Okay.
If we're going down that avenue.
And the Scottish teams and the Irish teams and the Welsh teams.
It's got more pools to play, if that makes sense. You've got South Africa, like you said, England.
Doesn't have England.
Oh, sorry. Ireland, Scotland.
I've just gone through them all, but no, you go through them.
Yeah, but then, you know, and if you're going down that way, then, you know, so if we're going down that, then the URC is the best competition in the world.
Okay.
To get you Test match ready.
All right. I like that. I also think Champions Cup is a really good competition for a Test match. You'd arguably say. You're seeing playing lots of teams from around the world. I'm going to say I think it is good enough. And I'm going to tell you why I think it's good enough. And most of that comes down to the fact that you're playing against All Blacks.
Yep.
You're playing against Wallabies.
Yep.
And they're not that diluted.
Yeah.
You know, like you've got a lot of All Blacks playing for the Crusaders. You've got a lot of All Blacks playing for Auckland. You've got a lot of All Blacks playing for Wellington. The Chiefs. Maybe not as many as we'd like playing for the Highlanders, right?
Mm.
You're also playing Fiji. So you've got to travel over there. You've got to play against
them. And they're
them
brutal at home.
At home. So you've got the travel element, whereas in Europe, you don't have the travel element.
No.
Right? So, when you fly to South Africa, I suppose you do in the URC now, but you do in the URC, actually, to be fair. My point being is you're playing All Blacks versus All Blacks, right? The Wallabies are playing against the All Blacks. We're playing against the top Wallabies. You look at, the New South Wales Waratahs. They're stacked full of Wallabies.
Yeah, they are.
And the world game now is fling it and yang it, right? Now, that means that where that was a problem before with Super Rugby, where they went from a style of rugby that was completely different to international rugby, that is no longer the case.
I agree.
Another reason is because when South Africa were in Super Rugby, the players would say playing against the New Zealand teams was the closest they got to the same intensity as an international.
Yeah.
So now
we're playing our own.
We're playing our own more often than we were before.
Yeah.
All right? So I think it's good enough.
Yeah.
They just need the right coach. Hopefully we've got him, who's going to come in, he's going to bring the team together, and we're going to go to South Africa and we're going to show them that actually the difference between the two teams is not as marked as people might think.
Yeah.
People need to stop slagging off Super Rugby and saying it's not a good competition, because it is a good competition. The quality of rugby is excellent.
Quality of rugby is great.
Quality of the players is great.
Yep.
Yes, we are losing more and more players to overseas, and they do need to do something about that.
But that's not necessarily because of the quality of rugby.
No, that's the money.
Yes.
Yeah. So I hope this tour to South Africa brings in a huge amount of money, which then goes back to those top players and developing.
But it's not necessarily the top players
that are leaving.
It's the young ones.
Do you know, since COVID, Super Rugby players haven't had a pay rise.
Really?
Yeah, so they haven't had a pay rise, Super Rugby players. Therefore, they get paid a really small amount of money now, compared to what they're getting overseas. And that's the bigger problem. Right, mate, what caught your eye over the weekend?